Hi, back to some more information about tech metaphysics, or better yet, some information about myself. Um, I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan. Um, it was interesting seeing how technology changes a town from good to bad. You know, we used to actually have an airport there. Now, you can barely keep people there. Right. So, as I said before about myself, I went to Carmen Ainsworth High School. I was one of the first graduating classes from that combination of Carmen and Ainsworth. We actually used to be rival schools and we combined together. Who'd figure? And yeah, that works. So then after that, of course, I went to Michigan State University and got my BA there. And integrated social sciences. The whole time during high school and college, working around with computers, fixing them, repairing them, programming them. A lot of times I'd be fixing people's computers and doing my own private little projects on the side. I've always been interested in artificial intelligence ever since personal computers, or even before computers came out. HAL, R2D2, C3PO, Tomorrow People, Tim, Tweaky from Starbucks, yes, Starbucks, but from Buck Rogers. Obviously, I need some coffee. But the point being, though, is I've always had a fascination with artificial intelligence. And of course, my life growing up has always been interesting. I grew up in a heavy metaphysical family. Um, we were heavy into the Lord, heavy into divinity, and heavy into the metaphysics. So I grew up with a really strong connection to God, the one, the source, the monad, however you want to say divinity. I like to say that kind of hits them all. But in the aspects, I walk with the Holy Spirit. So, but it has walked me into areas that deal with the metaphysics, and dealing with metaphysics, you really need to have some type of divinity in your life, because just like Anakin Skywalker, you can't fall off to the dark path. Trust me, you really don't want to do that. We already know the story of Aleister Crowley, right? So, anyway, and if you don't, you can go check it. So, anyway, um, I've always had a fascination in technology, but I also had a fascination in metaphysics. I just combine them together and call them tech metaphysics. And now this is what I'm working on in terms of my graduate programs and stuff. So, um, working towards trying to be a doctor. Um, that in itself, the profession in itself, yes, but the aspects of what surrounds it as being the doctor, the type of doctor I'm going to be, is a long. It deserves another video actually, but nonetheless, doctor in tech metaphysics or whatnot, you say. Um, I'm currently enrolled in some, like I said, graduate programs. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to, in the world of metaphysics, you have to be careful about how you send and receive energy. So I'm just trying to keep it simple and plain and easy and give you a basic background of who you're dealing with. And as we know, tech metaphysics deals with the intersection between technology and metaphysics. And my purpose for doing that is something called tech ethics. Because, like I said, I have had a first-hand experience of how technology can help and hurt society. Growing up in Flint, Michigan. You know, so I like technology, information technology, artificial intelligence, all that. Kind of like all the branches, but I think it should be done with more ethical pursuits. I think people concentrate too much on just getting it out there and then not thinking about how it's going to affect people afterwards. I think you should first start off with tech ethics and then, work your design from there. Then you won't have to worry about if it's going to hurt society because your intentions from the get go was to help society. And I guess a lot of people in their inventions and in their intentions have that intent, but somewhere it gets lost in translation, and they find out afterwards that all they worked at and didn't actually help. So I don't want what I do to be something like that. I want to actually help. So that's what I do this. So I use all my information on technology and all my information on metaphysics, and I help. So that's what I do. And now you know too. Yeah.